Hey guys, what's up? This is Barricade 2091, and I just wanted to bring you guys another episode of Gears of War lore. Today I would like to talk about Emergence Day. Everyone always wants to know what happened on Emergence Day. You know that a lot of people don't really know what happened on Emergence Day, and you could really know probably just the gist of it by reading the books, because even in the books they don't really specify too much. Basically, before I even speak about E-Day, all I have to say is that in order to understand how bad the Pendulum Wars were, was that they were for 79 years and they were fought over emulsion and basically just a horrible, long, endless war practically. And it only ended because the UIR is the opposing army. And the reason why the UIR lose is because the COG stole their blueprints for the Hammer of Dawn, and by taking the Hammer of Dawn blueprints and making it first, they were able to overpower the UIR and win. And after the URR lost, then it was basically over. They only had like a really short reprieve of of war. Like there was only like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was only like 2 weeks or something like that. 2 weeks, or like in a very short period of time. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys out there that read the books. Pretty sure it was just 2 weeks though. 2 weeks after the Pendulum Wars ended, Emergence Day happened, and basically the Locust came up, and it wasn't like they just came up in one major city or just in two major cities or a few major cities in the world. No, they came up in every freaking city you can think of at once. And basically every city was basically surrounded all at once. And the only cities that were excluded were ones that were on islands, or and Jacinto, since in Gears 2 it can't be dug through. And basically every major city was just being attacked all at once, and everybody was just pretty much screwed. And within the first 24 hours, just the first 24 hours of Emergence Day, 1/4 of the planet's population was dead already. They killed them that many. The planet's population was gone. And the COG, they're trying to fight back. They're trying to, but the Locusts are just too vicious, too strong, and they're just breaking down the COG, breaking down the COG. Many soldiers are dying, and it's just very, you know, they're just screwed basically. And they actually survived fighting the war for about the Emergence Day, after Emergence Day, for a year. And after a year, they realized that it's getting too bad. There's way too much grubs, and they basically just don't have a chance. So they decide to initiate the Hammer of Dawn strike. And basically after this, they realize that a lot of people are gonna die, and they give everyone on Syrah just 3 days. The COG gives the people on Syrah just 3 days to make it to Jacinto, because that's going to be the only safe place in the whole planet practically that won't be touched by the hammer. And of course, people are freaking out. The whole planet's just on major alert, and everyone's freaking out trying to get to Jacinto, and just major clutters and traffic, and people are dying because the grubs are coming up, and just utter chaos. And after 3 days, they initiate the hammer strike, and like a huge gigantic portion of the planet is gone, just completely destroyed by the hammer. Like, remember, well, if you play Gears of War 3, remember Char, that city Char. It's basically how the whole planet pretty much looks like. Ash statues. Everything's just messed up. And then after this, they think that they're safe, but of course they're not. And the war wages on for another 10 years. I think 10 years it wages on. And Marcus finally, if you play the beginning of Gears 3, you know what Marcus does. He doesn't listen, and that's where he's sent to prison, and he's sent in the maximum prison. That's basically, it's so messed up. The guards don't care about the prisoners. Basically anything goes in that prison, and the life expectancy of any person that lives in that prison is just 2 years. But Marcus lives in there for 4 years, because he's a freaking beast. And he actually lives in there, and that's where Gears 1 starts. But basically after E-Day, they just screwed everyone over basically. Also in the books, they didn't really specify what happened to Marcus and Dom too much. They didn't say anything really about Marcus and Dom, what happened to them on E-Day, but they did about some characters in the story. One character that I could think off the top of my head is Dizzy. Basically, Dizzy was riding on a boat that he works on. That it's just one of his employment. He works for, I think, the Navy or something like that. He's just riding home on the way home after, a big, long job. He just hears about all this crazy stuff that's going on, and he just doesn't get it. And he gets really worried because at the current time he has a wife and his stepson, and he just doesn't really know what to do. And he tries to get to them, and by the time he gets there, the city that they're in is just gone, and he's just worried, and he doesn't know what happened. And then I don't really remember too much what happens after that. All I know is that later on he finds out that his stepson died as a gear. His stepson became a gear, and he died, and his wife died. And then later he meets a new woman, and he ends up having kids with her, and that's where his twin daughters are introduced. That's all I really know what happened to him post D-Day. And then for Cole, it was pretty scary. He was on the way home to his parents. He was going to visit his parents when it happened. And he's in a limo because, he's rich, thrash ball player. And the streets are just crowded with cars, people leaving their cars, and he doesn't know what's going on. And he tells his valet that he's gonna leave, try to find a public phone to call his parents. And when he finds a public phone, and he can't use it. It doesn't work for some reason. So he's running down the streets, trying to get to his parents' house, and he doesn't know what's going on, and he's getting scared. And then he sees a crowd of people looking at, the electronics store where they have all the TVs. He looks at it, and all he sees is this is basically what he sees, and it's kind of crazy if you really imagine it. Try to imagine it when I'm saying it. Basically, he sees like a sky view of a highway, and basically the highway starts collapsing from one side to the other. Basically, just breaks from the beginning of it to the end of it, and just starts sinking. And there's people on the highway, and basically people start getting out of their cars, and you see drones coming out of it. You see Locust drones coming out on the highway, and you see people running from their cars, and you see the drones point their hammer bursters at them, shoot, and you see the people falling over. And all you see is just grubs coming out of the ground, people running for their lives, and the grubs just killing them. And Cole doesn't know what to do, and that's basically all they say. What happens to him on E-Day, they don't really say nothing else. But what happens to him afterwards is he realizes that, yeah, thrashball is a sport, and yeah, it entertains people, but that is not really helping the cause. So he leaves thrashball to become a gear. And what happens is that he was gonna play a game, but instead of playing a game, he went in the middle of the field, the thrashball field. Everyone's cheering his name, Coltrane, Coltrane. And he tells them, I'm not going to play anymore. And he tells them that he's going to leave to join the Gears, the Cog, to fight the Grubs. And at first he thinks that people are going to, they're going to get mad at him, or they're going to, get sad. But instead, they start cheering for him, Coltrane, Coltrane, Coltrane. And he gets all enthusiastic, and he's like, is anybody gonna stand on my side and help me kill these motherfuckers, or something like that. And he gets the crowd all crazy, and basically after that, a lot more people join the COG. The COG get like way more people joining just because of him. And after that, that was it. He just, he became a gear. The only other character I can really think of that they really specified what happened to them on E-Day was Bernadette. And basically, she just got back from the Pendulum Wars. Like I said, it's only been 2 weeks after the Pendulum Wars. She lives in the islands. She's an islander. She lives in the middle of the ocean. And she just gets back, and I feel kind of bad for her when I read it, because she was married to this guy for like the longest time, and their relationship just like went down the tubes due to her being in the army, and there was basically nothing there in that relationship. And basically after that, after E-Day, she has to leave again. She has to go be part of the COG again to fight the Grubs. So she leaves on a boat to Jacinto to help. And basically, the thing that's pretty sad is when she leaves, she finds out that her husband has been cheating on her because she's been gone. And basically, she got mad, but she kind of just let it go, seeing as E-Day was happening, and she never heard from her husband ever again after that. It's pretty sad, but Gears is pretty messed up story, even for the personal story for the characters. But yeah, that's it for this commentary, guys. And please like and subscribe if you're a new viewer to my channel and you like this video. Please like and subscribe because I got many ideas for the future for this little series, Gears of War lore. I also have ideas for future videos. So yeah, guys, once again, just please like and subscribe, and catch you guys later.
You should be proud of yourself today. That was magnificent.